Be some trig review. I have my x value right there that I need to identify. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to identify the opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent, right? So this is opposite because it's opposite from the angle. 18 is the hypotenuse because it's opposite from the right angle, and the only remaining side is adjacent. Okay, so if I'm doing SOHCAHTOA, let's make sure that looks more like an H. Okay, so I'm basically going through and I want to identify which sides I have information about. So I have information about the opposite side and the hypotenuse, so I can use those to figure out what the angle is. I can't use the adjacent side, so I'm going to cross that out. So I have opposite and hypotenuse, so that means that I'm using sine. So the sine of x is equal to 13 over 18. And then we're just going to flip those over. So the sine, or the inverse sine of 13 over 18 is equal to x. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up a calculator. And we're going to make sure that we're in the correct mode. So we're going to go down to radian, change it to degrees. And then we're going to just type in the inverse sine, so second sine. And we're going to type in 13 over 18. And that's going to give me 46.23, 46.24. Okay, so x is equal to 46.24 degrees. Okay, so just make sure you're paying attention to how they want you to type it in. They might say round to the nearest degree, round to the nearest tenth, round to the nearest hundredth. You just have to adhere to that. All right, let's do the second one here. So we're going to do the same thing. So we're still trying to find x. I'm going to say that 5 is the opposite side. I'm going to say that the blank is the hypotenuse, and the 3 is the adjacent side. So I have information about opposite and adjacent, and I'm going to use those to figure this out. So opposite and adjacent is tangent, right? So the tangent of x is equal to 5 over 3, right? Because it's the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. And then I'm going to flip it. So the inverse tangent of 5 over 3 is equal to x. And then I'm going to go back to my calculator and type that in. So the inverse tangent, 5 divided by 3, that's equal to 59.04. So x equals 59.04 degrees. Okay. All right, let's keep going. All right, so we're gonna do these two here. So now instead of trying to find the missing angles, we're gonna try and find missing sides. So I know I'm starting from 40 degrees. Whoops. Starting from 40 degrees. And let's see if I can identify the sides here. So this is the opposite side, that's the hypotenuse, and that's the adjacent side. So I have information about the hypotenuse, and I want to know about the adjacent side. I don't know anything about opposite. I don't want to know anything about the opposite, so I'm going to cross that out. So adjacent and hypotenuse, so by SOHCAHTOA, that tells me that I'm going to do cosine. So the cosine of 40 degrees is equal to the adjacent side, which is b, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 310. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 310. So 310 times the cosine of 40 is equal to b. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my calculator and type that in. 310 times the cosine of 40. And that gives me 237.47. So that means b is equal to 237.47. Okay, inches, I guess. All right, and then my last one. So I'm starting from the 40 again. That is the opposite side. That's the hypotenuse. That's the adjacent side. So I care about the opposite side, which I know, and I care about the hypotenuse, which I'm trying to find. So I don't care about adjacent, so I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm going to do sine of 40 degrees. That's equal to, let's see, O is the opposite side, that's EJ, so it's A, that's 15. And then the hypotenuse is C, that's what I'm trying to find. Okay, So first thing, so basically the c and the sine of 40 are gonna flip. They're gonna flip spots, right? So I'm gonna multiply both sides by c. So I have c times the sine of 40 is equal to 15, and then I'm gonna divide by the sine of 40. So c is equal to 15 divided by the sine of 40. So let's go and check, see what that is. Oops. 15 divided by sine of 40, 23.34. Okay, so c is equal to 23.34. All right. Keep asking questions. I'll keep making videos.